What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today's video we're going to be bringing you guys a GRUUL aggro style deck here. This is something that I saw recently going through the interwebs, and I decided to make, and I was really excited about it because GRUUL's one of the coolest colors combinations that I believe in the game, and I love that it's an aggro effect to keep up with the other aggro decks that are in the meta right now. So I was really excited about it, put it together, and couldn't get it to work, honestly. We were losing a lot of games. It wasn't consistent. It was about 50-50. So I started tinkering with it a little bit, and this is kind of what we came up with. So to start it off, though, guys, if you could, I really appreciate those of you who have already subscribed to the channel and all your support. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel out so much. It's a free way to help us out. If you could just please smash the subscription button down below at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. It's free. It supports the channel, and it means a lot to me. So I'd really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. So to start the deck off, we have a Fervent Champion. Like I said, this is going to be an aggro style deck, so the objective is to get in, get out as quick as possible. The faster the better. So Fervent Champion obviously is a 1/1 first strike haste. It's got everything you want in a 1-drop, and if you draw multiple of these, they actually pump each other up by 1, so you can actually get in for quite a bit of damage pretty early on if you start stacking these up. The second card we have here in the deck is going to be a Shadowspear. The reason we're running the Shadowspear is because you're going to run into a lot of mirror match or other aggro decks, and you're not going to be able to match the tempo because this aggro deck isn't the fastest out there. So you're going to want the Shadowspear for life gain, and it's a really nice card to pair up with the Embercleave, which we'll see coming up soon. But the life gain is huge here. It keeps you alive and keeps you in those longer games with the aggro decks, and you'll eventually outvalue them with it. So it's a fantastic card. It's a 1-drop. Get it out early if you don't have a 1-drop, and then start swinging in with your 2-drops. It's a great card. Down here we got a little bit of removal. We have Scorching Dragonfire. Now the Scorching Dragonfire is pretty unique in that it exiles a card that it kills instead of just killing it. So what's nice about this that I found out, if you run into like an Annex of the Forge and a mono red deck, typically if you kill those, they're going to get a 1 or 2 1/1 Satyr tokens. This will actually exile the card. Its effect doesn't take place. So any exiting the battlefield effects, it's a nice card to have to nullify that. The next card up is the Paradise Druid. This one, out of all the cards, I'd say you can kind of play back and forth with this one, whether or not you want to run it. The best part about running this card is the fact that if you run the Paradise Druid, it's a little bit of ramp. So down here we have a Questing Beast, one of the best cards in this deck. You'll be able to play that 1 turn earlier on a turn 3, which is fantastic. So it adds a little bit of that aggro to it. But I wasn't sure what to replace it with, so we ended up keeping it in there, and it seems to be working out okay. But I do think that we could get something in this slot that might be a little better. Let me know if you guys can think of a 2-drop that might fit into the spot a little bit better. But next card up, we have Domri's Ambush. Probably my favorite card in this deck. It's got removal as well as adding a 1/1 token on one of your creatures. So you add the 1/1 token, it kills something. We don't even have to fight it. So the wording of this card, your creatures don't even necessarily fight. You just deal the damage directly to the next creature, and then you actually keep the 1/1. So it's got so much value in it for a 2-drop. I think this card is more than important for this deck. You kind of need to run this for any kind of GRUUL aggro. So up next we have, I'm not even gonna try this, I guess I might as well, Zhur-Taa Goblin. And this goblin is pretty cool because you might think, oh, 2/2 for a 2-drop, whatever, and it's specific colors, but the riot on it is really good because you got options. So you could choose to either have haste or add that 1/1 token, depending on the scenario you're in. If you're up against mono red, I typically like to get that 1/1 counter token on it as to make it a better blocker. Or if you're up against some more control decks, give it haste, get in there quicker. So very cool, very versatile. One of the cards that I threw in here to modify the deck, I thought it worked out pretty well. Then we drop down here to Bonecrusher Giant. I mean, what can I say about Bonecrusher Giant? It's in every deck in the meta right now. It's just so versatile. It's got the two damage to any target as the adventure, instant speed, which is awesome. And then he's a hefty creature that, you know, even if you deal with him, he's still causing you trouble by dealing you 2 more damage to the face if you want to get rid of him. So great card, must have. The next card up here, another card that I think might be better served somewhere else. We could put something else in here. I'm not sure yet. I do like it in some scenarios, but the problem with it is we typically end up losing that 1/1 human, so we're not able to attack with the Lovestruck Beast a lot of the time. But on the other hand, he is a 3-drop hefty blocker. So if you end up getting him out, I ended up putting my Shadowspear on him a few games. It's pretty cool. You get a lot of life if they want to come in and attack, which they typically won't. Obviously, seeing a Lovestruck Beast with a Shadowspear on it, but it's a good deterrent, and it slows the game down for your opponent, which is really nice. But yeah, pretty good card. I'd mess around with that a little bit more if you guys wanted to. It wouldn't hurt. But I'm only running 3 of these, so not too bad. The next card up is Questing Beast. Questing Beast, like I said, probably one of the best cards in the deck. Between this and Ambush, I'd say. But Questing Beast, creature-wise, it's hard to top a Questing Beast. You put this down for 4, and it can swing in for 4 immediately. Can't be blocked typically by anything, especially if you're getting it out on turn 3. Most people don't have any creatures out big enough to block it. So it deals the damage. It deals the 4 damage. It has vigilance. Comes back as a blocker immediately. You don't have to worry about that. It's not tapped out or anything. And if they have like an early game Teferi out on the board, it's always fun to get it in there, swing for 4 to their face, and it kills Teferi typically. So it's a really good card to have. Another must-have in the deck. Last card of the deck, other than land, is the creme de la creme here, the Embercleave. I think it goes without saying, you guys have seen this ran in every mono red deck in the meta right now. Super annoying card. Super fun if you're playing it though. Getting it out on a Questing Beast or a Lovestruck Beast, it's pretty amazing, guys. I don't really think I need to go into the Embercleave too much and how good it is. But you pair that up with the Shadowspear, like I said earlier, and you get that life gain on top of it. You know, you could be pulling in, you know, upwards, if you put it on a Lovestruck Beast, upwards to 12 health we're gaining with the Shadowspear combo and an Embercleave. So must have Embercleave. Next cards up are all lands. So typically, if you guys have a bigger collection, my collection is still pretty small. We're working on it. We're getting cards every single day. We're trying to get you guys more and more content every single week, and I'm trying to keep pace with that. So we're working really hard, and the grind is real. But our lands are not exactly where we want them to be. They still work just fine, but typically Stomping Ground, you're going to want to run 4 of these. They're the burn lands. I tried running the Scry land in here. I actually have all 4 of my Scry lands at Temple of Abandon, but it's too slow. Way too slow. I had 4 of them in here. They was just slowing me down. I would draw into them, and I typically would want a forest or a mountain over it. And so we just got rid of them, and it seems to work a lot better. Scrylands were just way too slow. You can run one. I'm running 1 Fabled Passage here in its place too, for a little bit of a card search. If we draw, you know, a Fabled Passage and a mountain, we can search for that forest, and we can thin our deck out a little bit. You don't have to run this if you've got all 4 Stomping Grounds, though. I would say I just run it because we're a little short on the Stomping Grounds. And then last but not least is the Castle Embereth. I'm running 2 of these right now. I don't think you need to run any more of these. I don't have any more, as you can see above me, but I would have crafted this had I thought I needed it. But typically, if you get 2 of these out on the board, you're not even able to really pump them twice, because your mana, you want to get this games over so quickly that you're not going to have enough mana to pump it twice. The game's typically already over before you have enough mana to do that. So 2 of them, I think you're good to go. But yep, that is it, guys. That's the deck. We're gonna go into some gameplay here. We were able to get a couple wins with this deck. We did put up 1 loss. It's against a mirror match though. I think you guys will get value in that video though, so I'm gonna go ahead and post it up there anyways. But let me know what you think about the deck. If you could, again, please, I would really appreciate it if you guys could smash the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. It really helps out the the YouTube algorithm, and comment below if you guys have any suggestions, decks you want me to build in the future. Keep in mind, my inventory is limited. We're growing every day, like I said. This is something I plan on doing a lot of, and getting you guys that weekly videos, and hopefully even more. The more cards we start to unlock, it'll slowly start to snowball. But thanks guys for watching, and let's get into the gameplay. Peace. All right, let's get down to business. What do we got here? Okay, not bad. An Embereth, Druid, and a Questing Beast turn 3. That ain't bad. I'll take that. Love the ambush. Absolutely love the ambush. Okay. Let's just drop. Doesn't matter, actually. Doesn't really matter. Just double checking to make sure it actually mattered on what order we went with the lands, but it does not actually matter. Alright. Normally I would go the Goblin here, but I think the Druid, so we can get a turn 3 Questing Beast, is too good. We can start ambushing everything. Are we about to see a Pride Mate? No, we are not. Okay. Dawn of Hope. Good old card draw. No blocks. He can have it. Alright. Drop that Questing Beast. Love Questing Beast. I love Questing Beast mostly for the Vigilance. I love that it can hit a Planeswalker as well when it hits the opponent, but the Vigilance is just too good. You come out, you get a free 4 damage almost every time, and then you got a sturdy blocker for the next round. It's just too good, man. This card is so broken. In a good way, though. I don't mind the Questing Beast. I don't mind playing against it either. I love when people run that card. I think it's really unique. I love it. Alright, Healer Hawk coming in over the top. People typically forget about the Planeswalker effect too. It's pretty funny when that ends up happening. We can ambush. We can still play a Goblin too. Yeah, let's ambush the Hawk. Get it out of here. It's gonna give it protection. That's fine. That's fine. Play the Goblin. Haste it up. Seems like he's got a pretty slow start. That's a good card. That'll hurt me a little bit, I can't lie. Alright. Well, looks like we're gonna ambush again. We really got to get rid of this Healer Hawk. It's really bothering me. Coming in for quite a bit here. Really putting the pressure on. We have another ambush next turn to remove anything decent, like a Pride Mate. That's decent. And that should do it, right? That's lethal? Yeah, that's lethal. He's tapped out. That is lethal. Alright. Took down a mono white. Mono white. Confirmed. We could beat mono white. Confirmed. Alright, on to the next one, guys. Alright, on to the next one. Now, I've been playtesting this deck quite a bit, and I will say that it's not the most consistent deck I've ever seen or I've ever made, so you probably will be seeing a loss here, but I think I've troubleshot it pretty good here and got it to a point where we should be winning more than we lose for sure. I like this. We got a turn 1 Shadowspear into a Goblin. Not bad. Late game. I can deal with that. We are on the draw too, so could pull. Let's see, like a Bonecrusher. That'd be cool. Looks like we're playing. Oh, mono black. Okay, I thought maybe GRUUL, or I'm sorry, maybe Rakdos, but Exile a card. That's a tough one for me here. I can't lie. That's a pretty tough one. I think we're going to drop a land here. Yeah, we'll drop a land. I have a feeling that's going to bite me in the butt, though, down the road. That always does. It always seems to bite me in the butt. We could go hasty and just swing in. That's what it's all about. Aggro, right? We got to be quick about it. I think we can outvalue our opponents here if we keep bringing in the pain. Alright, how do we want to do this? Now this is some options here. I think we swing in for 4. That's my initial thought process. See what he does next turn. Then start working our removal. The Shadowspear, not quite yet. I think that's the play. We've got to keep pace with the damage. That puts us... I mean, we could actually technically pull an Embercleave, put it on one of these bad boys next turn if we hit a land. If that's something we want to do. The Shepherd makes things interesting. We did in fact hit the land. So the Shepherd's clearly going to block. I mean, we could ambush into a stomp. I think the Embercleave is a little more fun. Yeah. I think, yeah, he's going to read the Embercleave. Okay. So maybe, seeing he didn't block, we go with that first plan. Because I'd rather see the Nightmare Shepherd gone and off the board. I really would. That's sorcery speed, though, so... Because I didn't want the Fen Lurker to get... That's too bad. We might just have to go Embercleave here. Because the Fen Lurker's coming back regardless, whether we like it or not. Damn, we're gonna lose a card here. That's tough. I really expected him to block with that Shepherd. Now who do we drop? Probably drop the Bonecrusher Giant, right? Yeah. Ambush is too good to get removal on that Shepherd. And then we could swing it for a potential 8. If that's the only thing he leaves back to block with. That has haste, right? It sure does. Gotta leave the cat back to block, huh? Gonna leave a few things back to block. I think life gain here is gonna be pretty key. Let me make sure the right land taps for this. Gain some life here. I wanted to give the counter to him just to have 2 different threats, but it's not gonna be enough damage to get the job done. That should be enough, right? He is indicating good game. Maybe he did the math. Math is for a defender. Sure. Yep, that is enough. Let's go. 2 in a row, guys. 2 in a row. So far, so good. Maybe we could have made some different options, different plays there. I don't know. You guys can let me know. But I feel like we played that pretty well. We got the W. I mean, that's all that really matters, right? Let's go. Round 3 coming up. All right, round 3. Here we go. Van Bolzen. All right. What do we got here? A couple Bone Crushers. That's not bad. We got a ton of removal. We can keep that. We could probably get it into some late game, hopefully. Hopefully playing something a little faster that we could just kind of keep. Like mono red would be good here, I feel like, because we could pick off a couple things early. get it into the late game. If it's another type of deck though where it's control-y, this isn't looking so great. Okay. Okay, gain some health. Ooh, we got elementals. Okay. So we might be okay here. This might be pretty decent against elementals. Alright, let's do that. Get the Shadowspear maybe out, or the Giant. Probably the Giant, right? Yeah, probably the Giant. Get that threat on the board, force their hand a little bit, get the pressure going. Spear's not going to do anything this turn sitting out there, so. Alright, we do not like the Risen Reef. That's a tough one. Ooh, another Crusher. Okay, we can Crush, I think is the play here. Crush. Or do we want to apply more damage? Be a little quicker. I think maybe apply more damage here. But I feel like we can get Domri's ambushes for something a little bigger, so let's just go ahead and stomp it. We'll save the ambush for something that's a little bit bigger, like a 4/4 or something. Something of that stature. Alright. I do like the elemental decks. I'm actually considering making one very soon. Alright, now we got options. He does have blue out here, so there's always the counter potential. Okay. Or not. I guess he didn't have the counter in hand. I was actually going to play around a counter and drop the Bonecrusher first, but I guess he didn't have it. Alright, these games are going by pretty quick though. That's pretty awesome. Guess we'll get into the fourth game. Yeah, so as long as we're not getting flooded or deprived of mana, looks like the deck's performing pretty good. I'm happy with the way everything's been coming out so far. This one's tough. This one's tough. We do have the mana. Something tells me to mulligan this hand. I go first. Maybe I keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know. This is a tough one for me. Hang on one second. I do have to let my dog out of the room. She is scratching at the door. Alright, I'm back. Let's see. We got an Edgewall Innkeeper, huh? Going up against the Innkeeper, and I drew into an Embercleave. Yikes. Not the card I wanted to see. I guess that's what I deserved, though, for keeping his hand. No blocks. But we will be ambushing that because we can't have him drawing cards. Can't have it. Now the question is, do I swing in with a hefty 3 here, or do I drop another Druid to ramp up even more? I think we take the attack. Yeah? Yeah, we might not have this opportunity. Let's go ahead and just swing in. What's he got? Instant speed. Omen? Maybe an Omen? Bonecrusher! Why didn't I think of that? Silly me. It is an adventure deck, huh? That was pretty obvious. Alright, let's get right back on top here. I don't like playing from behind, so we gotta go quick here. Hopefully he doesn't have another Bonecrusher. That would be not so great. But I mean, we got what, 4, 5. So if we draw into one land here, I mean, we could avoid the Bonecrusher's damage. by dropping Embercleave on it. Ooh, Lovestruck, huh? Ooh, I'll see your Lovestruck and I'll match you a Lovestruck. Lovestruck is a great target for Embercleave. The only problem is it's so dependent upon that 1/1. I've run into that where I've dropped an Embercleave on the questing or the Lovestruck Beast, and somebody comes in and just, you know, Bonecrusher Giant stomps my 1/1. It's terrible. This is interesting. Do I take the block here? He is running somewhat of a similar deck as me. A little more adventure driven, obviously, but there's a potential Embercleave here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's got plenty for an Embercleave drop. I mean, we have to take it either way, huh? Otherwise, we're going to lose our Lovestruck Beast. I think this just comes down to being a turn behind. If he drops an Embercleave here, that's just, unfortunately, the way the cookie's going to crumble because we're one turn behind. There it is. There it is. Could drop our own Embercleave and play defensive with it. I hate to do that, but it might be the only way to go. It's so sad that we're in the position we're in with a hefty Lovestruck Beast Embercleaved up, and we got to play defensive with it. Just whenever you get those mirror matches, man, it's so important on who goes first. It really, really is. All right, he clearly has some sort of buff. Maybe I don't even know. Shock wouldn't be valuable here because we're both still gonna die. I don't know. I think we just gotta. I mean, obviously we have to block it. So. What's it gonna be? The suspense is killing me. So he's gonna get 2, 4 coming over the top. I think I'm doing that right. The Embercleave is so complex to me because I've seen plays, man, where I'm like, man, I know I've done the math right or whatever, and I'm always wrong for some reason. But yeah, it did seem like I was right there. 2 over the top. Man. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, we could do this. Suppose we could do this. Do one of these maneuvers. And we're at 1 health. If only we could find a Shadowspear here. Shadowspear would be the game changer, I think. What do we got here? 3-1. Oh, that's a Rimrock. I don't think I've seen that old cooler artwork style like that. Now, if we don't find a creature, we're in trouble here. Or Shadowspear, because obviously he can go wide for 1. That is a creature. That would deal damage first, yeah. So gotta sit the beast back, sit him back. I think these 2 will trade. No, I think it's gonna get 1 over the top. 1 shot. See, I don't think any. Yeah, I think he's gonna get it regardless, because he's got double strike, so that would kill questing beast before damage is dealt. And then this, it's gonna have that 1 carryover. Maybe we could do this. I don't think he expected that. Okay. We do need... Man, we're barely hanging on by a thread here. I'm really trying, guys. I'm really trying. Nope. Unfortunately, that is a wrap for us, guys. That is a wrap. No miracles today, unfortunately. Oh well, I mean, like I said, we played a mirror match, which I didn't expect to see today, but we were just a turn behind. One turn too slow. We probably would have been the ones, you know, hitting our Lovestruck Beast first. Then we would be the ones on that other side of the table really applying that pressure. It just would have reversed roles. And we probably would have got the job done a little bit quicker than him because we had the questing beast. So, but it is what it is. On to the next one. All right, on to the next game here. We got a lot of mana, but we do got a little bit of removal, which is fun. And some early haste. So we're gonna keep it. We're gonna give it a shot. See what happens here. I think the removal is going to be good because it looks like it may be mono red here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. I think we're definitely seeing mono red here. Okay, perfect. We love to see the Steamkin come out early. Give it a nice little stomp. Be on the way. I want to stop it now, actually. I was thinking about maybe throwing my haste out there, but stomping it now is better because it can get bigger and bigger. We don't know how many spells he's going to cast this next turn. He could drop 2/1 drops and it would have been too big and out of range for us. We could have Scorching Dragonfire, I guess, but... Light up the stage. All right, let's play our Goblin, but let's make him bigger as a defender here and throw out a Shadowspear. Get some of that life gain going here as fast as possible. Another Steamkin. Interesting. So we know he's definitely probably sitting on a Rimrock Knight, and I walked into that last time, and I think the better play here actually is to just take the 2 damage. If not, take the 4 damage, whatever it may be, instead of losing our Goblin this soon. Let's get a mountain and let's thin the deck out just a bit. And let's throw down... Let's throw down this bad boy. Okay. And if he wants to pump his Steamkin to block, that's totally fine. Because when he does, we'll Scorching Dragonfire to take it out. And that's what it looks like he's trying to do. All right. The suspense. Yep, that'll have to do. That will have to do. I didn't expect to stomp, I can't lie. I really didn't. I thought for sure it was a Rimrock Knight, but... Perfect. We couldn't have drawn a better card there, I don't think. And then next turn, we can start talking about our Embercleave. There's the Giant. So if we play, let's see, play Fervent. We're not going to have enough red mana, unfortunately, so we can't play Fervent Champion here. we'll just we'll swing in them both here and surprise him. I mean, he's not going to be surprised. I'm sure he reads Embercleave all over this play, but maybe not. He's not blocking the goblin yet. I don't really think there's anything he can block with that's not going to get me a W here. Because if I Embercleave either one, I think that's going to be lethal. And depending, I mean, he could send an entire brigade here, his whole thing, to block. Which looks like he is going to. I think he's trying to prevent here. So if I put here, we got 5, 10 damage with trample. Or I could kill them both on the right hand side with the goblin. What's lethal here? What's more lethal? So 10, that's 1 to 9, plus nothing. So I think we gotta go goblin here. I think we gotta go goblin. But yeah, I do think that's good games. I think that's a wrap. He's on the draw now, so see what he ends up pulling here. The Shadowspear, man, coming in big with the life gain. That's not a bad draw. Two champions, you know, those can start becoming lethal with the attack. But he's swinging all. Okay, so I think he's giving up. Either way, I think the 6/6 double strike tramples too much. I think it's gonna get through it, even if he blocks all. I don't feel like doing the math, so I'm not gonna say for 100%, but I think that's what he's thinking, and he's just trying to have some fun with it. Yep, that's it. Oh boy, that was fun, guys. That was a lot of fun. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you made it this far in the video, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys' support and doing that. And I hope to see you guys next week on the next video. Again, let me know what you guys want to see. I'd love to build those decks and start working towards those for you guys, so we can get the content out there that you guys want to see. But don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.